student athletes here at K-State are threatening to not play or participate in any sporting event until something's done about that tweet. Douglas County says it's staying in phase 3 for another 2 weeks. This all just happened within the last hour, so we're still gathering information for you. I'm going to step out of frame to let you guys get a better look at the scene. Just after 8 o'clock tonight, a call came in of a shooting at 1175 Southwest Clay Street. The Topeka-Shawnee County Homeless Task Force says around 60 people live here in Tent City, but that's soon going to change. If you go right to our homepage, you can find this story on our website and you can see full coverage. We'll be covering this for you as long as this happens. Now you can read the full Catholic guidelines up on our website right now. Just go to ksnt.com and click on this story. And we've also heard from a couple local churches in the area. Topeka Bible Church will open next month on June 7th. Those students are from Wuhan, which is in the epicenter of this outbreak in China. Now right now, Starmont Vale is the only hospital outbreak in the state. Now let's take a look at those other clusters. The state is reporting 12 outbreaks at long-term care facilities. That includes 2 in Wyandotte County and 1 in Coffee County. As a reminder, this is all starting on Friday, and what I'm about to lay out is just for Shawnee County. So let's break those down for you. All employees of any businesses, including restaurants, gyms, and salons, are required to wear a mask. I-70 is closed in both directions from Oakley to the Colorado border, and we just learned that westbound I-70 is also closed from Hayes to the border. Now we want to show you some video that's coming out of Denver from early this morning. Brooke, it's been a bit of a process, but the flag is finally flying here at City Hall. How can families just kind of ease that stress and let it be about the graduates? We've had some good conversation for about the past half hour, but we still need your input. You have kind of a new sort of therapy here called float therapy. Explain that to us. Again, we're live on Facebook for the next 30 or so minutes, so be sure to send in your questions and we'll get those answered for you. The circus is coming to town soon. I'm joined now by Roger with the Arab Shrine Circus. Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the 81st annual Shrine Circus?
We think that this is the oldest continuous running circus in the United States.
Well, how about that?
All right, fastest one wins. Ready?
And go.
Keep on going faster, faster, faster.
And from the rink to the court, the last home basketball game of the season usually means senior night for most schools.
But tonight, another member of a local team was honored. Reporter Tiffany Littler takes us to Silver Lake for the end of an era.
Lauren Ziegler has been coaching basketball for over 3 decades, and tonight he celebrated his very last home game. Lauren Ziegler started out as an assistant coach for 8 years for the Silver Lake girls basketball team. And the rest, he took the reins as head coach.
Come on, I need to stop right here. Let's go!
He's also been an assistant coach for football, track and field, and volleyball.
Up the lane, let's go! Come on, Taylor, get up there!
Had a lot of fun, had a lot of great teams, a lot of great players, a lot of current players that are doing a great job, a lot of former players that still live in the Shawnee County, Silver Lake, Topeka area, which is great to see them. And it's just been a great job and a fun career.
5 game!
Friends, family, former players, current players, and fans signed a banner just outside the gym congratulating him on this milestone. But when he's not on the court coaching these girls, he's in the classroom teaching business to them and other students at Silver Lake.
I've been around Zig since I was in 8th grade. He's a super positive guy. I've never heard a negative thing out of his mouth. He's just constantly trying to build other people up that are around him. It's just a very good experience to be around him and just to have been involved with things with him.
Coach Ziegler says some of his best memories on the court are the relationships he's developed with his players. But there's also some bad memories, what every coach dreads.
Probably worst memory is of every loss I've had.
He said if there were any negative feelings, he would have gotten out of coaching 30 years ago. But he never once let up, going full speed with everything he does. Now with retirement, Coach Ziegler isn't completely slowing down. He says he'll still substitute teach and says he'll cut his hours back to 30 hours a week. Tiffany Littler, KSNT News.
A Manhattan nonprofit is working to help heal the hearts and minds of veterans.
KSNT News reporter Tiffany Littler tells us about the program in this week's Community Matters.
In 2008, Thomas Taftigan was hurt in an IED explosion in Iraq. A year later, he had a major surgery that put him in a coma and on life support, leading to almost 20 more surgeries and a long recovery.
I was injured, and I was hurt, and I suffered from PTSD.
At the time, he was in the Warrior Transition Unit at Fort Riley, surrounded by other soldiers.
I would see him suffer, and I was like, there's got to be something out there. So I started reaching out to different groups, And I would see a lot of cliques in these groups, and I was like, that's not good, you know? So eventually I decided I'm going to do this.
And in 2012, he did just that. 2 years later, he turned Wounded Warriors United into a nonprofit. The multi-state organization based in Manhattan provides injured soldiers with group trips to hunt, fish, camp, and socialize. But most importantly, a chance to heal from their past.
I was one of those guys that was going to eat a bullet. And so in a way, this is therapeutic for me. This helps me. When I help a veteran, it's helping me. You know, it's giving me something to look forward to.
Stephen Capizzi is now in the process of transitioning out of the Army after serving more than a decade. He now volunteers for the organization.
It just feels like you're alive again, I guess. You're around that brotherhood again, and everybody can relate to one another.
Helping veterans adjust to their new normal.
You know, if you see a veteran, it won't hurt to, a little conversation goes a long way. You never know what somebody's going through.
For Community Matters, Tiffany Littler, KSNT News.
September is National Suicide Prevention Month, and a local nonprofit is working to help people take care of their mental health. In this week's Community Matters, KSNT News reporter Tiffany Littler tells us how they're doing this in the middle of a pandemic.
It's no secret this has been a trying year for many. And for more than 40 years, Cornerstone Family Counseling in Manhattan has helped people with their mental health now more than ever. Cornerstone works to provide services for those struggling regardless of their ability to pay. They work with patients to offer discounts if they don't have health insurance. Executive Director Dr. Michael Welsh says they provide over 6,000 hours of therapy per year.
The hope is that we can keep walking away from stereotypes about mental health. And if anybody is even debating if they should go to counseling, the answer is always yes. There's no reason not to.
According to the National Institute of Mental Health, nearly 1 in 5 adults in the U.S. live with a mental illness. That's over 46 million people. Dr. Welsh says with the coronavirus, his office has seen an increase in the number of clients calling in and seeking care. Office manager Carla Watt has also noticed the increase in patients.
What's really hard is when we fill up, and it's just, I don't even know if we can handle all the people that are calling in. We get people calling in every single day.
Cornerstone is currently working on a $1.1 million expansion project that would double the size of counseling they have to offer.
And I know it's an investment, and it's ambitious to take on a massive project, but we have to future-proof our community, and we have to make services available to everybody. And it's too sad that too many people are going without care.
To say yes to people, then feeling like I have to turn somebody away. That's just hard when you hear part of their story, and then you have to say, I'm sorry, we're full. We don't have anyone who can see you.
So far, Cornerstone has raised about $50,000 toward remodeling and taking care of the property. They hope to be able to complete the expansion within the next 5 years. Tiffany Littler, KSNT News. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration is warning consumers to watch out for hand sanitizers using methanol. Fox 43 News reporter James Ryan is live in Central Topeka. James, what are local doctors telling you about this warning? Chiefs guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif has opted out of the 2020 season. He's the first player to opt out due to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, today not only marks the first official game of the 2020 season for the Royals, but it's also the 37th anniversary of the famous pine tar incident. Thanks, James. Now, if you want to take a closer look at Kay's Garden, the Topeka Zoo is holding a venue showcase Thursday from 3 in the afternoon to 6 in the evening. Well, a local organization is getting ready for its annual fundraiser. I'm joined now by Lisa Kane from Doorstep, who's here to tell us about the 17th annual Operation Soup Line. Good morning, Lisa. One player that has people on the edge of their seats, though, is KU's Udoka Azubuike. The deadline has passed, but he hasn't publicly announced his decision yet. His teammates Dedrick Lawson, Quentin Grimes, and Devon Dotson have already declared for the draft, but none of them are battling injuries like Doak. Maria Torin-Ribes claims the final point for the Jayhawks. KU became conference champs for the first time since 1996. No better feeling than taking home a title. Congrats to Ribes and the team.